Okay, I have the pleasure of talking with Alexei Igudesman and Hyung-ki Joo. Together they make up the duo. Together they make up the duo Igudesman and Joo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Pretty good. Not bad for a Virginia boy.
Great. Okay. So
there's always a first time for a Virginia boy.
Right. There you go. Okay. Alexei, you're in the Dominican Republic right now, and Mr. Joo, you're in Vienna right now. And thank you for coming into my living room and doing this interview for Examiner.com.
Our pleasure.
Okay,
we love the Examiner.com.
Yeah, this is really going to boost my ratings, I hope. Anyway, so you guys travel a lot. How do you do laundry when you're traveling?
Wow, this is one of the deepest questions we've ever been asked in an interview. And very relevant, with an I at the front. Well, we do laundry in many different ways. We usually, we like to use the lavatory sometimes. When the hotel is not quite so good and they don't have that fancy laundry service, we just use the toilets,
right.
which is very practical. But very often, the music we make is so beautiful and the comedy is so funny that our clothes are just magically clean anyway.
That's great. You guys are blessed. So,
yeah.
So you guys met at the Yehudi Menuhin School when you were 12 years old. Did you really fight a lot?
Well, we had a lot of... it depends what you call fighting. Alexei was just much bigger than me, so I wouldn't say I could put much of a fight. It was just more him just beating me to a pulp, really. And
well, not really a pulp as in such, but just hurting him physically and emotionally.
Right.
So after a while, I just thought, hey, come on, we have to be friends. This is ridiculous.
Right.
And then we actually became friends, and we realized it was just the most fantastic thing. And already back at the Menuhin School, we had very similar aspirations and very similar feelings about the world of music, especially the world of classical music, since we are classically trained.
Right.
We just felt the concerts were way too boring and it felt very ceremonial, very much like a funeral, and the classical music was taking itself way too seriously. And we both wanted to change that, at least create a concert that we would want to go to ourselves.
It's a great idea. Yeah, you cite Victor Borg and Dudley Moore as influences. I even see some Marx Brothers, the way you play the piano there. Did you study Chico Marx?
Well, we ate up all that stuff. Marx Brothers are absolutely genius.
Oh, yeah.
Not just Chico, but also Harpo, and also Groucho. They're all fantastic. And,
of course.
And their movies are so inspiring still today. There are things that Chico does which I wouldn't say I've managed to learn, because I don't know how you can even learn that. It's so unique. And I know that with harp players it's the same thing. I know that Harpo has such an individual technique, and we've spoken to harpists about it, and there are very few harpists that can actually understand what he's doing. So these guys are on another level.
Oh, yeah.
But on the other hand, having said that, this is Alexei interrupting.
No problem.
Hyung-ki does have some techniques of piano playing that I have seen no other piano player being able to do as well, and that does involve playing the piano upside down, but not even in a manner that people can barely play up. He plays it upside down in the most absurd and difficult manner, lying on his back with his hands exactly reversed, which no one does or can do, and he also does something called karate piano, which is, actually the only other person who I've seen doing that is in concert is Emmanuel Axe, and that's only because Hyung-ki Joo has trained him to do that when we did our show together. And even though he's one of the greatest pianists alive, Emmanuel Axe, still I prefer Hyung-ki Joo's karate playing.
Yeah, that's great. You got to do something unique and novel. That's the way you get popular.
Yeah.
So, how'd you get started playing the piano? What inspired you?
Well, know, I assume that question is to me, since I'm
yes,
the
sir.
pianist of the duo. Although Alexei does a pretty good, you know, we've written more and more stuff for him where he has to play the piano. You know, to be very honest, I actually went into music because I wanted to be a composer and a conductor.
Uh-huh.
And the piano was just one of the ways to get into that. And I was always in love with music, but my parents never really saw that I had talent. And it was really just by chance that I made it into the menu in school. And then from then on, my life changed. And that was when I realized, okay, this is what I want to do. But until then, it was really just a passion, a hobby.
That's great. Yeah, and so no one forced you to do it. That's wonderful. That's how I got started.
It's the opposite with me. I was completely forced to play the violin from the beginning until practically now. I mean, I'm still forced, mainly by Hyung-ki by now, who is now bigger and stronger than he was before, and also knows karate piano, which actually karate is pretty painful in itself, but with the piano, it's lethal. So that's why I better practice.
Well, actually, you know, Alexei has built up some martial arts skills of his own. We have a number called Tambourin Chinois Kung Fu Violinist.
Yeah, I've seen it on YouTube.
People will see on New Year's Eve when we perform with the New York Philharmonic,
right?
And also in Seattle when we perform with the Seattle Symphony a week later. And this is a number which is really a virtuoso number for Alexei. He comes on dressed in a Kung Fu outfit, and he plays Fritz Kreisler's Tambourin Chinois note for note, but at the same time he's doing all these Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan moves, and also playing the violin under his leg, the bow around it. He's throwing the bow, he's doing all these tricks, he's doing Kung Fu kicks while playing, he's running around. It's really quite a tour de force, literally.
Yeah, I've seen that. You've got tons of videos on YouTube, and I've seen you doing some really incredible dance moves with Sebastian Gutler and Rosanda Panafili, the Irish dance.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, where'd you learn to dance like that?
Well, actually, we've all been very fascinated with movement in music, especially since classical music has somehow. I don't know if it was ever more mobile, but certainly the last century it's been very immobile, and especially from the performance side. And we just thought that actually the combination of movement and playing is something rather fascinating. And in fact, what we like to combine is movement, theater, and comedy and music in order to create like an own type of art form, or you could call it, and it's just accumulated through the years. I've experimented with moving around, and also there is something we've developed called violorobics, which is actually a fitness program devised for the artists, the performing artists, and also for the public. So we actually do this number called violorobics, where we get the whole public to move around and prance around at the same time as us, and at the same time as me playing. And we're actually going to do that also in Long Beach in Los Angeles on the 5th of January. And it's very funny because we actually had a special guest in our show in Italy a few weeks ago, who jumped on stage with us.
Who inspired the sketch.
Exactly, and it's none other than Richard Simmons. So he was, of course, the
Do you
perfect.
remember Richard Simmons?
Oh, amazing guy! Yeah, you can do it. Come on.
Yeah, that's him. So he was one of my guests. Listen, Michael, we're having a great time talking to you, as you can see, but we have to go over to radio.
I understand.
And we're going to call you back. Is that okay?
That'd be great. Yeah, I'll be here.
All right.
Perfect. So speak to you very soon.
Sure.
you soon.
Sure. Thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Alexa, are you still there?
I think he just hung up.
Alexa? Oh, okay. All right. Okay, you're still there, though.
I'm here.
All right, okay. Talk to you soon.
Sure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.